What up?
What's up, everybody? Wow, got a good turnout already. This is great. Well, hello and welcome to the Neuron Live. Grant and I here are just getting everything finalized and set up. Logan will be here momentarily. He hasn't arrived yet, but we knew he could be just a few minutes behind, so no hurry. But today we're here to talk about Gemini 3 Pro and all things Gemini 3 because while Grant and I were out popping around in San Francisco this week, Gemini dropped everything.
Dropped everything, more like leapfrogged over everything.
They leapfrogged a bunch, really did.
It's funny, if anyone read the newsletter this morning, there was a story that basically Sam Altman had put out a memo that said there's going to be some bad vibes out there for a while because they just got completely demolished by this leapfrog. It was pretty amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. You know, and that's it's so funny because that's kind of just the nature of AI right now. Is something new comes out, and there's the meme. I love the meme. We should update it and move the dot to "you are here."
Yeah, Gemini's come out. It kind of saved the global economy, right? It and NVIDIA earnings. We didn't cover that because it happened while we were out, but basically NVIDIA had gangbuster earnings on Wednesday. And those two things, I think, made everyone be like, okay, the AI bubble, it's at least not popping anytime soon.
Yeah. You've got NVIDIA coming out and busting what were pretty ambitious earnings goals, frankly. And then Gemini comes out and once again shows that scaling's still holding strong so far, which I think is big. And, you know, it's so interesting. And Grant and I talk about this a lot that, you know, there are all these different opinions on scaling. And when I talk to people generally believe, I think we've maybe already hit the wall and we're just doing things around it. But when you go talk to engineers at places like, you know, Google, OpenAI, Meta, you know, they generally believe scaling still has a good runway ahead of it. So who knows?
Well, that was kind of the big news out of Gemini 3. One of the people who worked on it was essentially like, how did we get all of these amazing breakthroughs? It was just pre-training and post-training. And maybe we could talk to Logan about that.
Training, post-training, and GPUs.
yeah. TPUs actually.
TPUs, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't know, how much he knows or would be willing to say, but it's pretty interesting that, they just seem like they just have made good progress there. And it seems like there's no wall in terms of scaling if you just break through some of the bottlenecks.
Yeah.
So AGI 2027?
we keep going. And then in somewhere around February, we'll talk about how AGI is a myth again. Because that's kind of there's this cycle that goes through. It's like, oh my God, it's really going to happen. This is close. And then about 60 days later, the new wears off of all the shiny new toys. And and everybody's like, this is it. It's just not going to get better. We're about where we're going to be. And then somebody does something amazing and we start it all over, which is tons of fun.
Do we have that spec sheet? Let me pull up the spec sheet from Gemini 3. I think it's pretty.
That would be great.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Feel free to keep rambling while I do that.
Oh man, well, Grant and I've been out of town at Microsoft Ignite 2025 this week in San Francisco until basically last night, and so there's some great interviews and stuff coming from there too. A lot of really interesting stuff around infrastructure and data centers, and some stuff with Copilot you might not know you can do that's actually pretty cool, and definitely worth going to give it a second look. Especially depending on your use case. But it was a really great event. We had a lot of fun out there, met a lot of really interesting people and other creators doing what we're doing as well. That was a lot of fun. Above all though, you know, for them, it was very much focused on the using it everywhere you are and having access to agents and good monitoring everywhere you might happen to be, which was really cool and seemed very simple to work with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Simple and necessary for a lot of people.
Necessary, like natural language agent building. I mean, that's the thing, in my opinion, that that I think a lot of folks were sleeping on this week.
All right, I got this spec sheet up. If you want.
Excellent. Let's take a look.
Let me know if you can see this. Can you see this? Zoom in.
I can't, but that's okay.
I don't know if we can zoom in any more than this. I might have to pull it up, but I'll just read off some of this stuff. So this is a list of benchmarks that Gemini 3 Pro is basically achieved. The first one is humanity's last exam, which, as you can imagine, is supposed to be the ultimate exam for, basically judging whether an AI can do everything a human can do. And here it seemed before they were at 21%. Now they're at 37%. And looks like 45.8%. There's two numbers on some of these. The difference is one is with tools and one is without tools.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, tools is basically the software writing code or connecting to API calls and things of that nature, where basically
and
you're
sometimes
using software
deeper
to
thought.
accomplish tasks. Yeah, right. Like deep research is often a tool.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there. So I mean, 7 points of difference when Gemini 3 is able to write code.
Grant, we ought to do one of these days, one of these weeks, we should walk through humanity's last exam on here.
Yeah.
I don't
think I've run through it myself before, so I think that would be good to
kind of show people the different types of questions and requests that are in it. Because it's not just Q&A. It's really, I mean, I guess it is, but it's really diverse and has a lot of different things in it that allow for different traits and things. I think it'd be a good run through and probably something a lot of people don't know.
Yep. Then we've got Arc AGI 2. So Arc AGI, for people who don't remember, that's the organization that is trying to truly assess intelligence versus memorization. Their theory is that a lot of language models, I don't want to misrepresent it, but my interpretation of it is that language models like are memorizing tasks. They're not like actually achieving true intelligence. And so they're trying to judge basically action efficiency, which is how quickly can an AI learn on the fly how to do something new that it's never seen before. And that's sort of their way of interpreting intelligence. So on this test, Gemini had a huge leap from Gemini 2.5 Pro from 4.9% all the way to 31.1%. So that's big. By the way, a lot of companies score very low on both of these exams. So a jump from 4.9% to 31% is massive. And even for humanity's last exam, a jump from 21% to 37 or even 45% is also huge. And I think for all of these, this is like the highest score in each of these domain, except possibly Sweetbench verified. Yeah, that's right, because that's the only one on here that's not bold. But yeah, and then there's a couple other ones, like there's scientific knowledge. That jumped from 86 to 91%. AIM, which is a mathematics test, it basically scores 100% if it can use code. so that's pretty much solved. 95% without code though, which is pretty amazing. There's a couple other math ones. There's multimodal understanding. That was a jump from 68% to 81%. And if you don't know what multimodal means, that means like basically how do you interpret multiple inputs. So it's not just text, it's vision, it's audio, and how well you understand and work with all of those formats.
Yeah.
So if I was to take a screenshot and send it to you, can you interpret it? If I was to, upload an audio file or talk to you, how well can you interpret it? So that's a pretty big jump as well.
Well, I think looks like our guest is here.
Great.
Like to welcome up Mr. Logan Kilpatrick to joining us today. Logan, how are you, man? It's good to see you.
Hey, folks. Hey, Corey. Hey, Grant. Nice to be here. Sorry for being late running around. It is very much a launch week. There's a lot going on.
For sure.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
No, definitely. I mean, you not only did you launch Gemini 3, but also yesterday was Nano Banana Pro. So very big week. Very big week.
Yeah. And it's not going to stop here, which is the other thing. I mean, we'll have a little bit of slowdown for Thanksgiving in the US for folks. And then stuff. So it's going to be fun. I'll make one other comment too, which is you were showing the eval results. That Sweetbench verified one is actually an interesting one. We originally had this The original version of the graphic had about this much screen space of all these disclaimers and details. The way that people report sweep bench verified is really interesting. And that chart that we reported is like the most generous version of this, which like everyone has their own custom agent harness. And oftentimes actually the labs don't report details on what their custom agent harness is. So you can't like we can't reproduce each other's results in some contexts. So that those results take the most generous view, which is we take the numbers that other labs have reported. But actually, if you look at Gemini 3 Pro on like some of the standard agent harnesses for like sweep bench verified, there's a bunch of researchers at Princeton and other places that run that benchmark. And they have their own harness that they can sort of test standard across all the models. And 3 Pro is actually the best model on that, which is really cool to see. So, yeah, we'll see how those numbers continue over time. But it is there's an interesting like subtle point in that story, which is the model scaffolding actually really matters. And like it starts to make, it is like one of the scaling dimensions of the models these days is like, what harness are you giving them? What are the set of tools? What does that environment look like? What are the guardrails? So I assume this will continue and sort of make all of our lives more complicated as we try to interpret the results from all the different companies in the space.
What's your
Logan,
like personal?
Sorry,
go ahead. No.
I was just wondering, is it I know there's a lot of time and a lot of work goes into building these new models and getting them ready for showtime. And, and there's always rumors for weeks and months ahead of like, oh, it's coming today. It's coming today. Is it a relief when you're finally able to get it out the door and up and running, or is it more panic as you make sure everything runs and many people get on and,
Yeah, I think the work sort of shifts a little bit. In some sense, it's easier to sort of be reactive to like, hey, we need to now go fix these problems because customers have these things. And the way I was describing it to folks sort of internally for the last few weeks is like, there really is this like organizational pressure that builds up when you sort of know you have this thing and sort of you need to get it out into the world. And sort of I was observing that for like the last 3 or 4 weeks of like, hey, feeling this organizational pressure and in a positive way, but I think shipping sort of relieves some of the organizational pressure. And then it switches to a different set of pressure, which is like, how do we go and scale up and continue to make sure that our customers are getting what they need from us and things like that. So it's fun to see the model out in the wild and see people's real reactions to it. But the work does not, unfortunately, does not stop. Given that we need to, keep scaling.
I was going to ask, what's your personal benchmark? Like, what do you see on that spec sheet that we just shared? And you're like, this is the one I'm tracking that really matters to me. I mean, they all matter, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. There's some interesting ones where this is sort of like my intuition, and I'm not an AI researcher, so maybe if there's AI researchers watching this, they can sort of comment and say that this isn't true. But there's sort of a standard set of benchmarks, and this is like MMLU Pro, GPQA Diamond, some of these like more sort of like what I would consider traditional legacy benchmarks, which you don't. It's harder to keep hill climbing on because the questions are really, really difficult. And I sort of, as I see models that make progress on those, that's sort of like one of my like big models smell. It reminds me I need to start sniffing for that in sort of other places. And I think like practically, obviously looking at the benchmarks is cool, but like actually getting hands on keyboard and trying the models and building a bunch of stuff. And for me right now, it's like vibe coding stuff and seeing what's possible there. And I really like this sort of like breadth across the ecosystem of like different things that are being tested. Like we present some of the results there, but actually it's fun when the model launches because there's like 101 other evals and benchmarks and everybody has their own eval and benchmark. You all should make one. I think it'd be cool. Like I think it's like a good marketing bit to have your own benchmark as well.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it would be cool.
The audience.
Get the audience involved, whatever it is. Like I think there's something cool there. But yeah, so I love, that's actually my favorite thing is like we report the numbers and then I get to see like 100 other things. And the hope is like, I think people are somewhat skeptical of evals in general because it's like, oh, how much are we like really training the model to try to hill climb these benchmarks? But the fun part is when you ship the model, and then there's 100 other things that Google doesn't even know that these eval benchmarks exist, and then people report the results on those, and then they end up being like really, really good and strong and state of the art. It is sort of this like validation of the work that we've done, which is really cool.
Awesome. You know, something we always try to remind people when new launches happen is that you can never really be prepared for what happens when you release something to millions of people. Like they're, you know, to billions of people. Yeah. Yes. And, you know, and you put things out there, and we're always like, you know, you want to be gentle with opinions that first week while you figure things out. And, but this seemed to run really smooth.
It did. Yeah. I was talking to Koray, who's our CTO, and just reflecting on sort of his comment was something along the lines of like, you know, we have figured out, like, we've gotten many shots on goal and like made a lot of mistakes as we've sort of, you know, released models on the developer side, and sort of the whole slew of releasing too early, releasing too often, naming, sort of quota, rate limits, all these things. We've gotten a lot of feedback on. So I think this is a culmination of many shots on goal. And it is positive that I feel like this release was generally, you know, it still had a few hiccups here and there, but generally without any large incidents, which is really nice to see. And people seem to enjoy the model, which I think is the fun thing. Like, I think that I keep bookmarking all these posts on X of just things that people have been building that like blow my mind. Like, I saw one of like a fully working version of iOS that somebody was able to live code using our new anti-gravity developer environment.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, obviously it's like not actually iOS, but it looks like iOS, and just sort of like scrolling through, like the apps are functional. You can go in and use all of them. Like, it's crazy. So I think cool. And this is like folks who aren't professional developers in a lot of cases, which is really cool to see as well. So I think there's this effect of the floor keeps going up for creators. And I think the fascinating thing for this week was like, you see that for coding, where like now people are actually able to be more ambitious who couldn't write software before, in parallel at the same time for like professional, like pro style creatives as well with NanoBanana Pro. So like two major up levelings for folks in different industries, which is just really cool to see.
Yeah, you know, that's so awesome.
It really is. It really is. You know, NanoBanana has been a hit since it hit the ground. Like
since before it came out. People were losing their minds over it. Yeah.
It has. Did you expect that level of excitement around it and the amount of use it gets, and seeing it in other platforms? Like it's in Adobe's tools now. It's in other companies' tools as well. It's seeing it be adopted as a real image model of choice by so many people.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you sort of have some intuition as far as how good these things are going to go. I think NanoBanana has definitely like surpassed the expectation. I think the naming thing is funny and interesting. Like, I think it's just a little quirky. Our office yesterday for NanoBanana Pro was like completely taken over by banana stuff, which was hilarious to see when I walked in yesterday morning.
Great.
And literally bananas everywhere, which was really fun. Many different kinds of bananas, which was also interesting. So yeah, I think there is like some interesting marketing story in this, which is like having that name is sort of like diffuses, you know, I think Gemini is a strong brand, but like Gemini means many different things. And it is sort of this like broad top level narrative architect. So I think having this like different story, I think actually resonated with people. So I think there's an interesting lesson in that of like, how do we sort of make sure that the name is familiar to people, but also how do we sort of keep it interesting at the same time?
Yeah. So you covered one of the things that we wanted to ask you, which was like, so what are the favorite use cases that you've seen that you were surprised by? You know, the iOS example, that's awesome. But in addition to that, and you feel free to answer any other things that you've seen that are cool. But what are your favorite capabilities, and where do you think this like shines for you personally? What are you most excited about that you can do now that you couldn't do before?
Yeah, I wonder if I can share screen and look at some of this stuff together. I have my screen shared, so somebody can throw it up on the big screen. Awesome, cool. Yeah, so we're in AI Studio, and sort of the reason I'll start here is because the feedback I gave to the team was, this is the gallery in AI Studio. The feedback I gave was we should be able to showcase like the full story. You should be able to come to AI Studio, go to the build tab, and sort of like see the breadth of what is possible from a model capability standpoint. So for folks who haven't tried, AI Studio is our vibe coding platform. And you can go in vibe coding in addition to many other things. Actually, you can go in and build a bunch of stuff, and it's free to build things, and you can test out the pro model and a bunch of other things. So I'll just give the quick high level overview, which is like the design aesthetics of this new model are incredible. So we've seen a bunch of people building like interactive landing pages and company websites, and we have sort of a snippet of just some of these cool ones that folks on the team created, which is really fun to see come to life. But just the breadth and the range of like different designs that you can build with is really cool. So you can click on any of these, you can then remix them, fork them, take the code, keep building, do whatever you want. We have this new section, which is specific around studio quality image editing. And this is related to Nano Banana Pro. So you can go in, Amar on my team made this really cool comic book generation app. So you can actually go in and put in your images and like make your own comic book, and it just works. It's so cool.
I love that.
It's honestly awesome. I'm like, I should, if I didn't
That's going to eat half my weekend now.
If I didn't have a job at Google, I think I would be taking a bunch of ideas like this, and I have a comic book brand, and I'd be, making a bunch of random things because the model is just so capable at doing these things. So
wow.
And we were in a live stream yesterday, like doing showcasing Nano Banana Pro and doing a bunch of product mock-ups and stuff like that, and just like seeing people bring their ideas to life is so magical. And I think it's this intersection of the vibe coding story plus Nano Banana Pro, which is really, really cool. So that was the sort of Nano Banana story. The games is really fun. Like I think I originally got into writing software because I really, really wanted to learn how to build games. I was inspired by Flappy Bird, and I was like, hey, if this guy can do it, so can I.
That's right.
It was a crazy story to hear about that. And actually my younger brother, same story, is like he studied computer science because he wanted to build games. And the reality actually, and for folks who don't want to build games and haven't gone through this, is that the disconnect between the games that you enjoy playing and the games that you can actually make is a very large delta in most cases. Like people enjoy playing Fortnite, and building Fortnite is exceptionally difficult. But I think this, Gemini 3 now gets you a lot closer and sort of like up levels you in ways that you wouldn't have been able to do before. So we've seen a ton of traction with games so far, which is really, really cool. And like truly just single shot vibe coded in AI Studio. Amar also built this like interactive one where you sort of, it like tracks your fingers visually, and you can sort of play different games and stuff like that. City builders, lots of cool, crazy visuals. This one has this like shader 3D environment that you can drive around through. Amar rebuilt this, the like flying, like flight simulator game. It's crazy. So like really you can go and build interactive working games. I've seen a bunch of other examples on the internet as well, which has been super crazy. And
do you know, like, how would you deploy, like, so a lot of these are like web-based games, right? So you could deploy this as a website. Could you like deploy this as an app, for example, without really knowing how to do that?
Yeah, you can definitely deploy as a website app. And as an app, you mean like on mobile?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we don't have like full app store integration right now. There's a bunch of these like deploy to specific surfaces that we're really excited about, and we're sort of exploring things like how do you bring what you create to the Gemini app, and how do you bring what you create to YouTube, and like maybe even in the future, what would it look like to take something you vibe coded in AI Studio and bring it to the Google Play Store and stuff like that. So we're definitely early in figuring some of that out, but I think that's what people want. Just like if you build something really cool, make it easy to distribute these things across the ecosystem. And these are also like Google surfaces that like we can easily collaborate with and make sure it's a seamless experience. But for now, you definitely can. You can like share the link to your app, and others can use it. You can also deploy it using Cloud Run, so that anyone in the world can use it. And we're working on full stack support. So we've had it working internally for a while, and are making sure the experience works really well externally as well. But you can do things like actually make fully interactive multiplayer games. So me and Amar have played racing games against each other on virtual live streams more than once now together, and like it's completely vibe coded. You just like literally say make this game multiplayer, and then you can send the link to someone and you can load it into a lobby together and play, which is wild to think about, like how difficult that would have been 2 years ago versus now. And it just literally you're 100 seconds away from having a brand new multiplayer game that you can play with a friend or something like that, which is crazy.
That's so awesome, because that is one of the hardest parts. So like I do game design for fun on the side, but like really amateur stuff, still learning how to do it. And I can definitely make an app that I can like, download, export, have my friends play. But the cloud management of trying to get both people playing at the same time and doing the multiplayer is like a whole other challenge, especially if you want to do something bigger. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for this, Grant. We'll get you on the early access list for this, and I would love feedback to make sure the experience works well. But this is one of the experiences I think folks are going to be blown away by, and obviously the multiplayer, like under the hood, that also enables a bunch of other things. Like today, these apps are just running in your browser, but in the future, you'll be able to have like full database support. You can sign in. You can have like persistent user data, et cetera, et cetera. So like building like true full applications through AI Studio, which is awesome.
Wow.
But that's coming soon. I don't want to spoil too much of it. But the last sort of three I'll show is just like these internet favorites, and this Kinetic shapes one is actually a really has resonated with me, not just because I made this one, but because I think folks, used to test like, can a ball bounce through this like rotating pentagon or whatever it was, and like make sure that the physics worked and all this stuff. And I took that idea and in a single prompt tried to make it like 10x as extreme. So there's actually 20 continuous, I'll click in on this one. There's like 20 continuous things happening at the same time. And they're all working functionally. And they're different. This one, like gravity pulls upwards. This one, the balls slow drop rapidly in the air. There's a single ball, high velocity impacts, which is why you see them bouncing weird. Cloud of tiny particles and zero gravity. So they're all different. The model came up with all of them, and it's fully interactive. So I can increase the rotation of all of them in the same time, sort of see what happens when I also increase gravity or decrease gravity. And they start to float everywhere. So it's absolutely fascinating. And like, again, 6 months to a year ago, the models used to be able to struggle to have a single ball bounce between a rotating square.
Yeah.
Is convincing to humans. And now you're looking at 20 different simulations with potentially hundreds of individual balls bouncing at the same time. And this was completely one shot. We're working on adding the prompts that got to this state as well, just so that folks have the sort of proof and they don't need to just take my word for it. But I literally built this in one shot, which is honestly crazy.
That's how intense was the prompt? Like, because I think people like are so amazed by this, but they are always asking like for prompt advice. Like what?
Not intense. So this is actually, I will not subtly plug the live stream that we've been doing over the last few weeks, but this week we did a 3 Pro live stream and we did Nano Banana live stream. And part of the point was we wanted to showcase the story of like Gemini 3. You don't have to be this like prompt magician. So like at probably like 5 or 10 different times throughout the stream, I was like continually reminding the other folks I was doing the stream with, like, show us the prompts that actually got to this. And it's like single sentence, like make this thing, do this thing, and then the model figures out the rest. So this was not like a script of like 500 lines or like even 2 paragraphs. It was literally like, take the ball bouncing. I went and found the original prompt that they used, which was like, make a ball bounce in a rotating square, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I said, do 20 simulations at the same time, make them all different, give them each individual properties, add sliders at the top so that I could change the a bunch of different mechanics about the simulation. And I think that was literally all that I did for that one. Which
and
is really
there
cool.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
wild. Basically that.
And this is like, again, this is a gimmicky example, but like it speaks to the underlying power of like, I tried to find something that like folks had seen before to sort of give the contrast of what these models are now capable of. So I think there's a bunch of other examples like this that are super cool. And if I go back to the gallery, the last one is like, we have this voxel art, which folks love voxel art, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you can turn images into these like little block art setups, and then SVG generator is another one. So you can go in and you can play around with like the model's ability to write SVG code, which is really, really impressive. And it's helpful for web development as well. So this is just a sampling, and we're going to keep adding more and more stuff. But it's truly impressive what folks have been able to do. And the fun part is like, you can go and build these things yourself for free in AI Studio, which is really cool. So you can show up, sign in, go to build, and put in whatever your idea is, or honestly click I'm feeling lucky, and it'll come up with an idea for you, which is really cool.
Let's run it. Let's see it in real time.
Yeah, this one is build a creative writing interface where users upload an initial image. The AI should analyze the mood and scene, then ghost write an opening paragraph to tell to us story set in that world, include a read aloud button that uses expressive AI voice to narrate the generated story. So now I'm gonna have to come up with what is the initial image of the scene that I have, and I'll find something on my desktop of random.
You could take a screenshot of this chat too and see what it comes up with.
Screenshot of this chat and turn it into a story. This is meta. This is meta. We can try. I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe let's have a backup image just in case.
No, we can. I'm curious. What does it come up with? So I'll screenshot this. And while it generates, one of the fun things is we have all these like options, so of like things to continue to add. So it's contextually aware. So this is like add story continuation. So allow users to guide the story direction by choosing from AI generated plot points. I like this idea.
Kind of a choose your own adventure vibe there to.
Yeah, so I'm going to add this, and then it does prompt expansion. So this is like the high level, and then there's an underlying prompt that gets added, and then we're working on like queue this up right now. You have to wait for it to generate, that you can run the next version.
So you can just add it and then it'll just add it to it after the
exactly. So I'll kick this off too once it's done generating. But I'm hoping this is going to be like only like 100 seconds to make a fully working app. So I'll kick this off.
It definitely seems faster, I should add too, because I mean, I've gone in there and played around and built, and 100 seconds is pretty solid.
It depends what you're making. So they're like 3 Pro is definitely quick. In some cases it's slower than 2.5 Pro for sure. In some cases the model is just much smarter, so it can like get where it needs to get faster. All right, so I put this in. It says the silence in the room. Oh, actually, let's read aloud. I don't know. I think I'm sharing audio tab, so let me know if you don't hear this audio. Let's see. It's gonna make it, and then hopefully it'll play it in a second.
Yeah, tell us when it's playing. Another question I have for you while that's happening is, what is your advice in terms of like if you like how much should people be iterating versus trying to one-shot it? Because I think that's something that I struggle with a lot. Like how far should I go up front versus like in the chat once I have something? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm very pro try to be.
The silence in the white room wasn't empty. It was heavy, pregnant with the static of unwritten futures. At the center of the expanse, the blue singularity pulsed, a stylized spark of cobalt suspended in the air, waiting for me to collapse the wave function of the narrative. To my left and right, the translucent panels of possibility hovered like...
Interesting.
Pregnant with the static of unwritten futures. That is amazing.
I've never heard that phrase before. Pregnant with the static of unwritten futures. I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, I think it's interesting, Grant, your question of like how far to go versus how much to do iteratively. I constantly have to remind myself that I need to be more ambitious with what I'm asking the model. The 3 Pro really is so capable that if you ask for something, there's a good chance it's going to be able to deliver on it. And I was talking to Sundar yesterday, and we were doing a bunch of vibe coding in AI Studio, and he was telling me about what he wanted, and I was giving him this feedback as well, which is like, he was like, yeah, I want these 30 things, but I'll only give you 5. And I was like, no, give me the 30, because actually that's the magic of what you can get out of this experience. So I think I would be as ambitious as you can be in the first prompt, but also the reality of vibe coding is that that's its iterative process. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to have all the things you want. So be ready to continue to iterate, but you could definitely get pretty far with this. I'm going to drop, let's see, does it let me drop in the pictures? No, I can't drop in pictures, but I could ask for that if I wanted. I will instead choose this picture, which is
nice.
There we go.
The squad
at this time. I think it might not like, let's see, what is the error? I'm getting an error somewhere.
This is good. This is showing people how to fix stuff in real time.
This is a file format that is not supported. Let's see if I can auto fix it. Image, I've never even heard of AVIF as an image file format, but apparently that is the file format of this image that I put in here. So we'll see if it can fix that. I could probably change the image, but we'll make the model do the dirty work for me. The iconic image of Sundar and Demis at Google I/O, which is now an internet meme, as I was
looking very business. Yeah.
This is so random, but did you see that clip someone did the other day with like all the big tech CEOs like hanging out? I think they made it with Banana Pro, like all in like a parking lot, and like Elon is smoking a joint or something.
I did not see this, but
it's genius.
send me the link offline, and I'm happy to look. That's funny.
I'll send it. Yeah, people are making some funny stuff with Banana.
Yeah, Nano Banana really is impressive. I'll make a couple of other comments while it's cooking this right now. There's tons of next steps that you could do as you're building this stuff. If you want to go and look at the code and manually edit it, you can. You can also download the code. You can move it to GitHub. You can deploy the app. We were talking about this. Deploy it through Cloud Run directly. You can also share it. So if you want somebody to like see it in the AI Studio UI and actually continue to remix it and add new features, you can do that. You can switch to a paid API key. So for example, like VO 3.1 and Nano Banana Pro actually do require a paid API key if you want to use those. So if you want to enable that in your app, you can click up here and switch to a paid API key, which should work. So let me add this back in, and we'll see if our AVIF files are now supported.
I feel like that is a video photo file, if I remember correctly.
Seen them. I've regularly used AVIF to JPEG converters online.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good use of
like them or something.
That's a good use of tools like this, is to build like converters like that, where you don't have to use some sketchy website that you don't know who you're uploading it into.
Let's see. The sunlight reflected the harshity of the sea off an empty orange seats, creating a glare that demanded the tiny. I don't like the voice that it was reading it, so I'll read it instead. Blah, blah, blah. High above, the blue steel rigging creaked in the wind, a lonely sound that emphasized their isolation. They'll be opening the gates in an hour, Kabi said. I don't know which one Kabi is, but maybe it's his voice flat against the vast open space. Are we really going through with the announcements? This is not what it's like at I/O, but this is pretty good. We have our next steps as well. Julian shakes his head and admits that the prototype didn't just fail during the final test last night. It began to rewrite its own parameters. That's a little too meta. A single silhouette figure appears on the very top of the bleachers, prompting the two men to split up. One to intercept the stranger, the other to rush to the control room. I'm curious. We'll click that and we'll see what happens in the next chapter.
This is so fun. So
lots of cool, and obviously like this was, I'm feeling lucky we did it in a single prompt and it put in a bunch of the scaffolding for this. And now we see the next chapter. I'll let folks go and continue to play with this on their own time. But yeah, it's super powerful. It's super capable. And the examples I continue to be blown away by, which is awesome.
It is
cool. We have some questions from the chat. I don't know if we want to run through some of these.
Let's do it.
Let's see. So we have one question from Steve. Logan, did you have involvement with DeepMind when it was in development leading up to the match with Lee Sedol?
I did not. But it is sort of like a pinnacle moment in the history of DeepMind. If folks have seen the Thinking game, which I think is available on Amazon Prime and a bunch of other places. Incredible sort of story of how DeepMind got to the place that it's at today, and Demis, Korai, Shane, a bunch of other folks in the DeepMind team sort of bringing DeepMind along and essentially creating this moment that we're in right now, which is really, really cool. So yeah, it's a great story. Watch the movie Thinking Game.
So Advocate Kwanda, if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Grant, I just dropped one on top of you there.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
We have one from Claudia Mueller here. Wanting to know what level of access to new tools do you have based on individual Google Workspace?
Yeah, so AI Studio is available for Workspace customers. The caveat to this is your Workspace administrator can choose to disable certain apps that are available through Workspace. So they could, depends if you mean like individuals and it's your personal Workspace account, AI Studio should be enabled by default, but like some larger organizations like have very sort of limited sets of supported apps that are available through Workspace. So you might have to contact your administrator if you're in a big company, but for everyone else, it should just be enabled by default. And you can do all this for free, which is really, really cool. Same thing if you have just a normal Google account as well.
Excellent.
We had one question about how a lawyer could use Gemini 3. Do you have any stances on ideas for that?
Yeah, I was talking to some folks who I know in the space. I think legal is actually, and there was some interesting detail that I didn't realize about this, which is law has one of the highest penetration of like folks who have tested and used these models today. So like it is generally a profession where I think we're seeing lots of usage. I think some of the stuff that I'm interested in is like, I think legal folks have to, and obviously they bring in experts in a lot of cases, but they have to sort of understand all of this like textual data. And I think you have to sort of do in some cases this like visualization of bringing things to life on your like in your own head to like connect all this like sparse data. And I think, you know, not to obviously if you're a lawyer, you should do a lot of this work manually just to make sure, because it's very, very high risk and high impact in some contexts. But I think there could be some interesting stuff of like vibe coding and sort of bringing some of the like cases to life. And our team has been testing a bunch of this. I haven't tested legal sort of literature cases myself yet. But we've been doing this with like scientific papers, which is like, you know, take a quantum mechanics paper and put it in AI Studio and sort of say, hey, I'm trying to understand quantum mechanics. Can you sort of build me an interactive virtual learning experience so that I can wrap my head around what's happening? So I think that use case actually applies across like every discipline, not just lawyers, but I think there's lawyers have a lot of this context switching and nuanced detail of people's businesses and all the things that are happening. So there could be some cool stuff around that.
I missed this. Does Gemini 3 have any stronger context windows than Gemini 2.5? Is it the same?
It's still a million. Okay. Still a million. Yeah. I think we had 2 million originally, and some of the feedback was like 2 million is not that useful if a million doesn't work really, really well. So we've been trying to, the push has been like, let's try to hill climb, make quality for 1 million really, really good. And it is much better from a quality perspective of like how many, there's like a bunch of measures of long context capability. One of them is like how many needles or like how many items in the context window can the model attend to and answer questions about. And like up to what point is the context window actually useful? So this model is really, really good at all of it.
Okay, we had another gaming question.
Yeah, this one's from Lucas Stewart, and he's thinking about NPCs in games and really looking forward to the day of interacting with full LLM NPCs. But what he wants to know is, could you vibe code an RPG in Gemini 3?
Yes, and you can make the NPCs LLM based. So the cool thing about vibe coding in AI Studio is that it's actually connected to all of our underlying APIs. So it can make like a Gemini 2.5 Flash Lite, which is our sort of cheapest model, which is probably what you'd want for an NPC, powered like intelligent NPC that can sort of use all the audio capabilities and all the like text narrative capabilities to like be controlled in real life. So that is possible. And actually, if you look at the games that we have, we are already doing this. Like, for example, I think it's this Sky Metropolis one. And this is like kind of NPC-like. But if you look at, there's like quests in the top right and the top left, and these are like context aware AI generated based on what's happening in your city and like what the sort of like simulated people are doing, etc. So I think we're already there. Like you can build these experiences today, which is really, really cool.
That's
awesome.
So cool.
Logan, do you have a hard out right at 11:45 or?
That is a good question. I'm good to go for another few minutes.
Cool.
Okay. We had one question about how do you feel about bearish LLM crowd who say we're reaching limitations or dead ends. Seems like you kind of answered that with this release, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Trajectory is crazy. And I think the other interesting thing is like the models, obviously, like really strong models help us make even stronger models. So like the fact that Gemini can code really well means like our ability to go and do this stuff and sort of accelerate AI research and sort of product development inside of Google continues to go up. And I also think there's like everywhere you look, there's opportunity for improvement. So we closed a lot of gaps with this model in Nano Banana Pro, but there's like 50 other things that we know are problems that we can go and continue to hill climb on. So I think I don't know. I intuitively get why people are sometimes bearish on this stuff, but then if you just sort of like follow the chart of progress, it becomes very confusing to me why you would continue to bet against that, given that like it continues to be true that the models keep getting better. So
do you think that the TPUs are a differentiator in how you advance? Because that was another question we got, and that's an interesting one.
Yeah, 100%. I think Google's full stack approach to building AI is a core part of like how we're able to differentiate in the ecosystem. Like it's not like we just have hardware and Google has lots of money to sort of go and make hardware. It's actually that the hardware is custom built for what we're doing with Gemini. So we can sort of co-design the architecture of what we're doing from a model perspective with the architecture of what we're doing from a TPU perspective and make sure that those two things are in symbiosis. And I think that's a really, really great differentiated perspective that we can have. And we've also had a long sort of set, like I think we're on the 7th generation TPU right now. So it's not like we're just starting this now and working out the kinks. Like it has been many, many shots on goal. Google's been running on TPUs for like, 10 years now, which is crazy.
Do you train all your models on TPUs?
Yeah, all of the Gemini models are trained on TPUs,
wow,
which is really, really cool. And it's like fully trained on TPUs. We use TPUs for inference to actually like scale up and host the models. So it's incredible to see.
Wow. Yeah, I guess the concerns people would have on scaling is like, well, we haven't scaled anything past a certain point, so maybe that's where the bearish angle comes from. But it seems like there's a lot of room to go there.
There definitely is. I think I think the scaling continues to happen, which is really cool. And there's all these new scaling dimensions which we didn't have before. And like
you mentioned scaffolding as a scaling. Actually,
scaffolding is a scaling dimension. I think the product experience is actually a scaling dimension. Like a lot of this is these models are so capable, and you sort of need the right product experience in order to bring the models to life in a way that sort of really helps it shine.
And accessible to more people. And
exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Logan, I want to be respectful of your time, man. And I really appreciate that you took time out to join us today. This is so cool. What you guys are doing over there is great. I love it.
Yeah, of course. Any other last questions, Grant? Were you going to say any?
Yeah. There was two more if you have time. So one was a question about scaffolding, like basically interested in scaffolding needs across the models and best practice to integrate expert knowledge that is unpublished. I don't know if you can answer that.
That's a good question. That's interesting. I don't know if I have a good answer off the top of my head, but that's one of the things that I'd love to eval. And like, how do you, figuring out how to integrate this expert unpublished model, that like expert unpublished information into a model where that information might actually be out of distribution. I think there is, for folks thinking about this, like the models definitely do best when things are in distribution. But we are starting to see, even with 3.0 Pro, one of the things that we looked at was an example of like tool calling. And obviously the model has seen like many examples of tools and all these different scenarios. But we specifically measured like the model's ability to call tools successfully that it had never seen before that were not in distribution. And measuring that progress versus 2.5 is like one of the things we want to hill climb on is really important. So it's definitely something that we think about as far as like best practices. I don't know if I have anything good off the top of my head, but I feel like that's an interesting place that we can definitely look more into.
Yeah, and then one more legal question was: is there a legal benchmark like Humanities Last Exam to test on PhD level legal intelligence?
That's a great question. Actually, I saw something, but I don't remember what it is, and I'm very. I have not been doing any law stuff in the last few years, so I don't know. I'd have to poke around and find out if there's a good one, but I'm sure that there is.
I think we covered one actually a couple of weeks ago, but we just threw it in randomly as part of another story when I found it. But I will find it and I'll include it in the Sunday newsletter.
Awesome.
I think there is a new one. Cool. All right.
Grant, Corey, this was fun. We need to do it again. Hopefully we'll have more cool stuff to launch and more fun things to showcase. But if folks have questions, comments, feedback about Gemini 3, please ping me. Always happy to just see feedback. Would love to see what you're doing with the models and would love to keep making them better.
For sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was really
fun. Thank you both.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time, Logan.
Bye.
Bye, Ben.
All right. So we got a question in the chat here that was a prompt. That's the first one that we'll start with. But Corey, reactions, takes. What's your thoughts before we jump into some demos?
First off, Logan is the best. Logan is he is such a just great guy with a plethora of knowledge. I love that he works on AI Studio because I use AI Studio 20 to 1 the amount I use regular Gemini. I always find a reason to go in there, and I don't know if it's that it makes me feel a little exclusive or something, because some of it's not, some of this is stuff they're still building out as well, and you're getting some early time with it. And I just really enjoy going in and working with it there because you get, extra abilities, you get extra functions, and you're able to, make some real tweaks into things like turning on better data management and grounding by search and things like that you can really dial in to try stuff. What about you? What's your thought?
Yeah, I just can't wait to dive in and play with the gaming stuff. I like that they're thinking about how to deploy it to all these different surfaces. I think that is actually the true bottleneck for vibe coding, because anyone can go in, make a request, make some iterations, get it to the point where they're going to break it. But getting it out of that testing environment and into something that you can actually share it with your friends or make money off of it, that is the thing that is like the biggest barrier for people. Like last week, our live, we did, how do you actually make a website with AI? And we talked about some of the ways that you could do it and actually get it up online, like using Cloudflare Pages or some other tools that we talked about. It's just the company that makes the most streamlined path from vibe coding to distribution will be really successful, I think. As long as the stuff that people make is successful, and I think
easy.
It will. Yeah,
I think it needs to be simple. It needs to be. You shouldn't have to be an engineer to be able to figure out how to do it. I think is really important. And
we're getting to that point. I mean,
we very much are.
Yeah.
Like the truth is, one of the things that, in my opinion, has made Google's AI Studio such a standout is the deploy button.
Yeah.
And
you have to go through it, and that you can download it. It is like maximally like customizable, which is great. Sorry.
Yeah. And you can pull it out of there and move it into your GitHub. It doesn't have to like live in their universe forever if you choose to move it around. And I think that amount of freedom is a really good thing. Just a quick note here to everyone who's here. Thanks so much for joining us. I would, if you don't mind, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing these great guests in here and have these fun conversations. So hit the channel. And if you haven't yet, join our newsletter at theneuron.ai, where I don't know, how many is it, Grant?
600,000.
Yeah. Read it every morning. So we'd love to have you be one of them, and appreciate that you're here today.
All right. Shall we pull this up and push it to the limits? All right. We're going to start with this prompt that someone shared. I believe the person who shared it was JWS HS. If we want to pull up the prompt, the comment there while I'm pulling up my screen.
Let's see. Oh, right. Ika's on it.
Thanks, Ika. Shout out to Ika managing the comments. Okay. All right, let's go here. So first off, this was if everyone can see my screen, let me know. So this is a tool I was playing with earlier. I was trying to make a text editor tool where that's themed as a noir, like 1950s kind of writing tool. And I can basically prompt it here. Let's see if it works. Ask the informant. It was a dark night in the city that knows how to keep its secrets. So be like, continue from here. Let's see if this works. Interrogating suspects. It was a dark night in the city that knows how to keep its secrets, where every alley holds a forgotten whisper and the neon lights can't quite illuminate the depths of its path. It doesn't quite work the way I wanted to. Like I wanted it to, have like just a really basic highlighter, but it is kind of cool that I can mess around with it here.
And kind of tell it where to go next from there.
Yeah. Introduce a femme fatale.
There we go.
Kind of classic noir, right? Let's see. Oh, it got a little running over itself there. But Tess, a siren in scarlet. I guess I can do it that way.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's kind of a canvas sort of vibe there.
Yeah, I wanted to, my biggest complaint with all AI tools is that they all stink for writing, in my opinion. And the reason is because it's not an integrated part. Like I still yet to see a good writing tool for that works like Cursor for writers with AI. I think there's some that have been close. I think Lex is pretty interesting. I haven't tested it since it first came out. That's a good one. But it doesn't quite do exactly what I need it to do. I'm always moving things from one tool from another. So that's one of the things I'm going to play around with.
One of my biggest call outs is that I use Canvas ChatGPT quite a bit. But one thing that I dislike about it is that it consistently wants to regenerate your whole thing over and over. And I want to be able to highlight a sentence or a paragraph and say, let's rewrite this. And then it leave everything else the heck alone, but just focus in on that little piece. And that's the thing I haven't been able to get it to do consistently.
They can do it. And they're I think you can highlight the button and things like that, but it's just not as intuitive.
Yeah.
And so I think there's still a lot of domain, design.
Room to grow.
Room to grow. Exactly. All right. So this is the prompt we're going to test here. Act as a front-end archaeologist and video engineer from 1987. Create a video player web app that simulates watching worn-out VHS tapes on an old CRT television. I love it. Let's build it.
See what happens here.
Also, everyone, send us your prompts. We have a bunch we're going to test out, but send them in and we'll prioritize yours over ours.
Yeah, and we're down to stay on for a while still and just run through some ideas, build some stuff, make some silly pictures, whatever everyone's feeling. We'll pop through these, see what we can do, and try these out for you.
Yeah.
VHS tape noise artifacts.
You might want to pull up a couple of these just because it takes a while for them.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
So I'm going to pull up some of our pre-made ones here. So for the first one, one of the features that we didn't get to cover with Logan, but that is something that Gemini 3 is really, really good at, is a sketch to a napkin, basically like a napkin sketch to full app. So basically you sketch something out and then we're going to make a full app out of it. I have a prompt here.
Yeah, I'll bet it would do really well with if you went into one of those little workflow tools where you draw out the little squares and the arrows and we're like, here's what I want. I want it to go here. I want these to go here. I'll bet from something like that, it could really, or a clear, well-made outline, like where you want things to be nested and live.
So I'm just going to draw something here, right? Let's, what type of app should we create?
That's a good question. Let's create the dinner picker.
Okay.
I've been saying I want for ages. I'm tired of having I always joke, it's this running joke in our house that, what do you want for dinner? I don't care. What do you want? Well, I want this. No, not that. And it's like,
tell me what you want. I love it. And we should also make that a benchmark. You know how he was saying we should create our own benchmarks? That's definitely Corey's.
I still have to have the dinner discussion at the end of the long day every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your what elements do you want on this app?
I want this app. I want to be able to pop in and I guess it needs to know my location.
Okay.
Because it needs to know, what food's available around me. If we want it to, if we wanted to focus on carry out specifically, let's say, just for simplicity. And I want it to be capable of choosing, ordering based on knowing what we like and what we don't, and then to actually order it.
So let's maybe
Which
do like,
you may not be able to do because we're not going to have like a wallet ability for sure.
Yeah. Let's do faves on the left-hand side here.
Fave, smart.
And then food. Maybe this is like where you take a picture of your food. Yeah, I'll do a little text box.
I've also thought one that, you could take a picture of the inside of your cabinet's fridge, upload it, and say, what can I make that would be easy? Could be a lot of fun, too.
It's so small. Let's make this like 200. Okay, there we go. Take picture of food here. Then you said, what about the cabinets? You wanted the cabinets.
What if you could take a picture of your cabinets or your fridge and be like, here, see what I have. Tell me what I could make.
Yeah, exactly. Take a picture of food cabinet here. I'm trying to purposely make this bad.
Maybe up to 3 pictures even would be valuable. Thinking, here's my fridge, my freezer, and my cabinet, I don't know how well it would ever work, but honestly, I think it probably will.
And then we'll put a text box here and we'll say like result here. So this is our basic napkin sketch, right? I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And then I'm going to go over here where I said convert a hand-drawn napkin sketch into a fully functional web application by interpreting the handwritten layout. And then I'm going to attach the image.
There we go.
Yep, acknowledge. Okay, and then let's see, does this prompt want me to, by the way, this prompt, I made this by asking Claude, help me create a optimized prompt for Gemini 3.0, looking up what best practices exist. And for this specific use case, which is the napkin to prompt. And like Logan said, you don't need to do all of this like long epic formatting for prompting all the time, but it is helpful. It just depends on how specific you want it to be. And then I'm going to say this is for interpreting what food you have available in your kitchen and making meals you like. And that's all I'm going to say. And then we're going to test this. So now let's go back to the prompt from
the game.
From the game. It looks like we've got something here. What do we think?
We got a nice faux wood television.
How do we start it? Oh, turn on the power button.
VCR.
A retro sci-fi robot, and can we?
In
I don't know.
Oh, something's happening already.
What the heck?
What?
You hear the sound too?
I can hear it. Yeah. What in the world? Oh, it says something. The peach.
Oh, you know what? This is that classic image video that whenever you're laying out a website, you'll use this video as like your placeholder. That's what this is.
Oh, wow.
There's a giant rabbit that will come in. Okay, let's hit stop. Rewind. Play. Okay, that's hilarious. Let's hit record AI. Choose key for applet. You have no paid project. Oh, okay. So we're gonna have to. Okay, so this is cool. So we're gonna have to create a paid key in order to mess with this. Let's go ahead and not do that for now. But what I'll do is I will share this and other people can play with this and test it out.
Excellent.
But yeah, basically it looks like when you hit this record, this creates an AI with VO, and yeah, you can once you connect, like Logan said, you have to in order to use Nano Banana Pro or VO, you have to hook up your API key. But I mean, we were able to make this like very basic UI with it. Channel, can we change the channel? What does this do? Oh, you can make it fuzzier or not fuzzier.
Oh, cool. It's tape tracking. What's that one say? I can't read it.
This one? Volume.
Okay. Yeah, tracking is what you adjust to like smooth out your VHS tape. You know, if it's a little grainy, you can do that and maybe make it a little cleaner.
That is cool, because we didn't ask it to do that. What happens if I hit eject? That's funny. What happens if I do test? I think that's maybe where it would take your prompt here and then it would record.
I thought it was wanting us to finish the sentence.
No, it looks
the
like
sci-fi robot in, and then it.
Yeah, the no system thing. I think that might be just a UI bug. So what we could do actually, let me unfull screen this. I could say like, hey, the no system box is overlapping with the prompt box. So can we remove it? I will share this with everybody because this is fun. I really want to see that. I might try and hook it up actually to a paid account. Let's see. Just do this on another tab maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And we don't have API keys set up in here. That's something we need to do.
I have it on my personal, set up to my personal account.
Good.
Okay, so this is a Pantry Chef, Corey. This was based on that sketch that we created.
Excellent.
This is the UI that it made. So let's look at this in full screen. So what's in your kitchen? Upload photos of your ingredients, fridge, or pantry, and let AI suggest delicious recipes you can make right now. Cool. You want to take a picture of your actual fridge and send it to me, and we'll test
not of my actual fridge, no. But hang on, just a minute.
Yeah, send me something on Slack, and I'll throw it in.
I'm going to get us some examples.
Cool. In the meantime, I'm going to check to see if there's any prompts.
I say no because I've been gone for the last few days, and I'm not really sure what the inside of my fridge looks like yet. So it's probably not a day.
Okay, so someone else, or it might be the same person, Abstract Enigma, they shared simulate a simple static portal level. Next step would be portal gun. Another idea is see what happens when two portals are on moving surfaces and close around you. Let's spin that up.
All right, I'm going to have you 3 pictures in just a minute.
Okay.
A cabinet, a fridge, and a freezer.
So I'm taking that prompt exactly as it was written to me, and I'm putting that into build, and we're going to test it out. By the way, I don't know if you're still here, but someone asked earlier about the URL for this.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is you go to aistudio.google.com/apps, and I think that takes you directly to build. I'm going to go ahead and paste that.
Images are incoming, by the way.
Great.
Dropping them now.
Cool. I also want to test the same test that we did last week with the cat cafe. I really want to see how it creates a website for a cat cafe. In fact, I think
that could be fun. Yeah.
I think I have that prompt saved. I'm going to go ahead and grab it.
Excellent.
Cat cafe.
I haven't spent much time with the new Nano Banana yet either, and that's a thing I want to sit down with later. Or maybe we do in here in a few.
We might be able to do it on Gemini.com.
We could. It's the front of Studio too, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, create an image. What do you want to see? Anybody in the comments have an image request? Someone was saying that the text editing wasn't working for them. Misplaced and misspelled text when provided with very long text. Let me go ahead and grab a bunch of.
Oh, there we go. Text. There we go. It's giving you ideas.
Create an image of my own
me with.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do too? We should try that comic book one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's do that.
Absolutely. I think we may have good pictures of both of us. We could throw in one too.
Send me those, and then once I have those,
I'm checking the phone for good ones we've taken on the road lately.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab just an article from the Neuron. Okay, let's see, oldest, latest. Let's do Olmo 3. We just wrote about Olmo 3 this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and put this article on a whiteboard, and I'm gonna do the full chunk of text right there, and I'm gonna send it in, and we're gonna see how well it handles the long text.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is from Fam Civil Engineer 34.
Still chasing down a good picture probably from Adobe. Seems like we took a few there.
So it looks like there is the Portal game here.
Excellent.
Okay, let's see. How do you play it? System loaded, GLaDOS. Oh, it's you. It's been a long time. Level architect. A long hallway with acid. Oh, can we move? How do we control it? Oh, there we go. Okay, nice. Okay. Looks like the portals don't work. Unless we have to click something. You know what I would do? If you are creating games, I would always tell Gemini to include the instructions on this, or the controls.
That's a really good call out. I had that on a world model one day where I don't remember what it was on. I can't remember which of the world models, but it created this thing, but I had no idea how to make the controls work. And like, your normal AWSD or your arrows weren't moving me around.
Yeah.
I just sent you a picture of us too for comic book creation purposes.
All right. So let's do level architect. Let's say like a long hallway with acid. Sure. Let's just try that, and let's see how that works.
Let's see where we're.
I'll also go full screen on this.
Browse the app gallery.
It's kind of fun. Like the controls are very fluid.
I'm gonna also share my screen because I'm bringing up the comic book thing.
Great.
But I'll just have it down here. We can switch whenever we feel like it.
Perfect. So it hasn't given me the controls for how to actually make a portal. So the portal functionality is not working at this point. Let me go back and check the side panel, and it seems like it's still working on that. Let's check on our other requests. So you sent me the food pictures. Great. So I'm going to upload the food photos that Corey sent me, and I'm going to put them in Find Recipes.
Killer.
Let's share this tab.
There we go.
So I've uploaded the photos. Finding the recipes.
We got a fridge, a freezer, and a cabinet full of food.
It's great. Suggested recipes. Sausage and bell pepper pasta. And it has the entire recipe down here.
Heck yeah. Chicken and broccoli stir fry with rice.
It's even got the calories. Remember, this was a sketch. I didn't tell
this was a poorly drawn sketch made with a mouse. Yeah.
I didn't tell it any of this. Now, what you need to do is you need to hook this up to your food prep robot and then have it automatically follow the steps. Okay, so I can favorite this. Oh, awesome. And then it favorites it on the side there. What we need is an option for, I guess, if I click find recipes, it'll give me some new ones. Now, the only thing is, once it's saved over here, how do I pull it up? So what I would do here is I would give it some feedback, and I would say, once the recipes are saved, how do I pull them back up again? You need to have like an option where when you click
an option to like favorite or something.
Well, we have the favorites on the side here, but once we click it, you can't see it again. So we would need an option for taking it basically back over into the main panel here.
Needs to kind of archive it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm about to hit go here on the comic book. If you want to bring it up for a sec, I'll show you what I'm working on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Bam. All right. So here's the prompt. I went into, this is the same one Logan showed us. It was in under build. You go down to app gallery and it's right there with all of the others. I said, make a high action comic book called The Misadventures of the Neuron with Corey and Grant. See attached pictures for their likenesses. Let's have lots of action. Where they show up to save the day by teaching AI to someone in trouble. And uploaded a picture of us, just something corny. And it makes you see what this will do and how it works.
So this is the exact comic book prompt.
The one we saw on the screen. Yeah, the one Logan showed.
Cool.
We'll see what it comes up with. It may take a few minutes. It's tough to say.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple other side things. I'm also going to pull up the cat cafe project.
Excellent.
So I'll get that started.
All right. Makes to see how this goes. I have a feeling if it goes well, this is what I'll nerd out on all weekend.
Yeah.
Making comic books of nonsense, silly stuff that definitely doesn't deserve a comic book.
So I've got remember we were testing an image prompt earlier.
Yeah.
This is what it created. So this is under the hood of Olmo 3. So AI2's glass box. It's really creative how it condenses all this information. Like
it is.
Someone said that it's basically the best compression algorithm, the world's best compression algorithm, where it's just compressing all of this information into a tiny screen. So it basically goes through like the TLDR of the article that I wrote, drop the blueprint, 7 billion parameter model, 32 billion parameters, fully open. It talks through the model flow philosophy. It's got all of these elements of the research paper that they released with it. Then it talks through the unique aspects of this model. So it uses this thing called Dulce Think, Delta Learning Pro, and verifiable rewards. Now, see, it's not taking the entire text and reproducing the entire text. It's like essentially chunking it into the main ideas. And trying to represent it visually.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
If you were trying to put a bunch of long text on, like, let's say you're making like a, well, the example that they showed, which was kind of interesting, is like, let's say you have text on a label for a product and you wanted to change that label from, English to Japanese because you're taking the label into another market. It should be able to do that relatively simply.
Okay.
But what if you wanted to write a long, like the founding of our company on the side of your product and basically go from zero to label with like a big chunk of text? How well could it do that? I think it depends on maybe the size. I don't know if there's like a cutoff limit where it just gets confused and starts reducing it, but yeah, let me try this. Like now,
comic book's still rolling, by the way.
Great. Now put the TLDR section in its entirety. And I always do this, and I recommend everyone else do this. If you're trying to capture the complete context of what you're summarizing, or maintain consistency or fidelity, I say with 100% fidelity. So that means I want it to be completely faithful to the original as much as possible. On the back of a soda can, let's say. Let's test that. So just for context for everyone, this is Nano Banana Pro that we're working with here. And then Corey and I are testing Gemini 3 in the video tabs that we're jumping between.
Yeah. Grant, this might be a good opportunity to talk about the guest we have coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, we're going live with Micah Hill-Smith, who is from Artificial Analysis. And they are a website research lab. I don't know exactly how they refer to themselves.
Analytics
platform,
AI.
perhaps. Yeah.
We did a demo on their stuff a couple of weeks ago.
But basically what they do is they benchmark all of the models and they list all of the pricing across all of the different cloud providers and try to give you as much information as possible about what models are available, how well they perform, how expensive they are to run, and on what cloud providers is the pricing, so that you can make informed decisions about where you're running these models, like in production, and how much it's going to cost you and how performant they are across a range of different use cases. So very cool. They supposedly have a exciting new, I don't know what they have something exciting and new that they're going to share with us on Tuesday. And then we're going to just ask them questions about, the state of AI and what models are the best. I think we all know Gemini 3 is probably going to sweep that part of the conversation. But what open models does he like? What are the companies that use his service? What are they using? Those types of questions. So
yeah, and they really it gets very granular. There's a lot of great information in there, and it's nice because I think they do their best to benchmark these all similar harnesses, like Logan was discussing. Like, you're not going to get the same results if Google benchmarks a model and someone else does. Those numbers are going to be a little bit different. But by having this one place where they're using the same setup and the same everything, you have the ability to compare apples to apples a little bit better than what you do cross company. For example, controlling your variables. That would be the word.
You know what's cool about this? So this is straight up my article that I wrote yesterday. Obviously it's not the whole thing, but it's about as good as you could get putting it on the side of a soda can.
Yeah.
I think, like, if I was gonna guess, this seems like this maybe has a hard cap. Oh, that's funny. If this typo's in my actual article, that's hilarious. I finished it at 1 a.m. So sorry. But it's great that it captured it. That's hilarious. But this looks like this is maybe like a max cap of 100 words, maybe 150, 200, where it seems to get cut off. So I would probably, I don't know if that tracks across. I would maybe need to test it 10 to 100 times across different prompts to see what the actual limits are. But if you're trying to put long context in a Gemini Pro image, safe bet is probably 100 words. It can capture pretty consistently.
And it looks pretty good here. The only thing I would call out is I think the letters would look a smidge shorter at the very top and bottom, and it looks like at the bottom it does pretty well.
Are you talking about to capture the perspective?
Yeah, like the perspective of the roundness of the can with the way rolled text will look. It's as close as I've ever seen. I will absolutely say that. But I think you can still tell it's flat.
I could also give it feedback, to try and make it more integrated with the can. I could say make it look weathered, have put some rust stains on it. I could say put it on a label. So because this can is missing a label, right? So I could also say change the perspective. I could say make it horizontal so that it's in the same line as the can. Ask to make the font smaller. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's ask to make the font smaller.
I'm running into errors on the comic book. I've had to have it auto fix a couple times, so patience.
It got confused which one I was talking about. It went back to this old image that it created. I'll say on the can image, try to make the font even smaller. 2x smaller minimum. and see if you can fit the entire TLDR section. If not, I don't know if it's going to be able to do this part. If not, tell me what your word count cap is.
You know what would be impressive is if you could switch to the video model then and tell it make this roll.
Oh yeah, you probably could. I don't know if there's limits to VO.
Yeah, that's true too.
The plan that I'm on, the plan might not be able to do it, but yeah. You have the comic book. Do you want to share that? Does it generate?
Well, yeah, I'm glad to. Let's pull that up real quick. There we are. Basically, it went through here and started working on the code. I'll show you here. And it's running through everything, but it keeps running into an error that it's not fully detailing what it is, but it gives me an autofix button. So I'm just clicking autofix and letting it. I'm just vibing. I'm vibing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Corey. You shouldn't have to be in the code to use it.
No, I've just got the code up. I'm over here is where it was telling me to autofix. So I was just looking here to make sure it was doing stuff.
Can you go back to the starting point?
Yeah.
Like this will save. Just like let's go back to, and then go to the gallery. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of wished it was
click that. Yeah. You should be able to just run that.
Well, that's what I did.
The UI. Nothing shows. Interesting. What? Yeah, oh yeah, there's an error right down here. Look at this error at the bottom, that red X.
Oh, you're right. What's that?
Failed to load app.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, that's the most important error, right?
We'll have to at Logan. Logan, what's up? It's not working. Try another one. See if we can get any of these cool demos.
Let's see. I want to try. I want to try this one. Gemini Runner. We'll see what happens.
It could be that we have to hook up our API keys to use some of this.
That may be the whole hang up is this is expensive, guys. We'd like your money. I say
yeah, look, this one failed.
This one failed for what you're doing. Yeah. I bet it's the same error. Failed to load. Try reloading.
We'll hit the refresh button. See if it works.
Hit reload and see what happens.
Yeah.
And there's a refresh right button here in the app as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Dun dun dun. We're gonna have any luck? I don't know. It's looking. Oh no. Okay, so let's reload here. Nope.
What the heck?
Well, that's no fun. It's okay. It could be very much any variety of things too. I'm gonna try.
You know what? This is why you gotta benchmark and test these things on your own terms and for your own use case to make sure that it actually works.
Oh, here we go. You know what? This has almost got to be a problem with my machine.
Okay, because it's applied to all of them equally.
I'm wondering if there's not some kind of a block in here that is keeping.
Let me try. I'm going to try it on my side. Yeah.
Cool.
See if I can get any of this to work.
I'm also going to see what happens when I click I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah. It immediately worked for me.
Oh, good.
Here, I'll pull my screen up. I'll show
here
you.
In the private chat here, I'll drop my
prompt. It immediately worked for me. So there's something on your side that's not working.
Yeah, that figures.
Did you send me the pictures? I can run it.
Yeah, the picture's in your Slack, and the prompt is right here in our private chat in our software.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting test for this tool because this picture has both of us. Maybe I'll upload the same picture twice, and
we could crop that in half, I guess, if it creates a problem.
No, yeah, that's a good.
We could just open it up in pictures or whatever, and
don't even need to do that. Just take screenshots of both of us.
Perfect.
Okay, so you're going to be the hero, Corey, because you're my hero.
Oh, you're the best.
So Corey is the hero, and then I'll be the co-star because that feels right. And then what genre do you want?
Classic horror. Oh, wow.
Is that what you want?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's go default and see what happens.
Let's do it in German. No, actually, let's do Hindi. Let's see. Secret identity required. Oh, you need a paid API key.
Uh-oh.
Of course.
Unlock the multiverse.
Okay, I'll open that one in another tab too. I want to show folks the Portal game. Got that working.
Cool.
So now it tells me exactly how to use the portal, but I can't aim it, which is kind of frustrating. But let's see. So if I left click, nope, doesn't work.
Nope.
I love this. It's so funny to me. It's like in theory it should work, but okay. So this is where I'll say the controls don't work. When I click, nothing happens. Maybe choose different keys, and this time, don't start with portals open. Let me create the portals wherever I click. So it needs a little more context, it seems, than the first one.
Yeah.
Should we do another test? The cat cafe, perhaps?
Sure. I'm over here playing with the I feel lucky button.
Ooh, let's show that. That sounds fun.
Let's see.
And I'll pull up the cat cafe idea.
All right. Let me add to stage. Oh. Remove. Add to stage. There we go. All right. So yeah, I'm going to hit this. Create an app that designs a logo for my company based on a description and then shows me an animated version. But you can just sit here and hit it over and over till you get something that looks fun.
Nice.
Meeting and timeline. That feels too Socratic AI math tutor. Now we're talking. When I upload a photo of complex calculus or an algebra problem, don't just give me the answer. Walk me through the first step. If I get stuck, why did we do that? And have the AI explain the specific concept. For anyone who doesn't know, I mean, some of you probably do. The whole idea of this, so the Socratic method as a way of teaching is a thing that's heavily used in law school, philosophy, and others, where when you're talking, your professor is not telling you something is right or wrong. They're going to keep drilling in and asking more questions and get you to really kind of formalize an opinion, a take, and learn through thought and rhetoric more so than, this is what blue is. This is what 3 is. So let's see what we get. What the heck? I now need pictures of complex mathematics. Can Nano Banana do that for me?
Yeah. Try it.
Cool. Okay, well, let's, I'll remove this one. I'll bring you up while you're bringing up Nano Banana. Oh, but we're not seeing that.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, the font, the making the font smaller trick did not work. It looks exactly the same, basically. What I would probably do is I would download this as an image, and I would take it into another window.
Okay. Have it create an image of a complex calculus problem, which feels bold. And we see what we get.
Cool. Well, that's spinning. Let's see.
Well, it is calculating.
Okay, this is looking much more promising now.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you just opened a portal. Boom.
Yeah. But I need maybe another
Can you go through
one. Okay, so let's see if I set this here. The aiming is not very smart. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, let's do this like the most. There we go.
And you're able to go through them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Okay, so now let's make this the most complicated. Make the most complicated difficult level with lava, acid, enemies. I don't know
and
if
water.
I can do enemies and water possible, and see if I can escape. Let's see.
You may greatly regret this, but it's going to be interesting.
I told you I'm trying to break it. I'm trying to break this today. Push it to the limit. I want one of our tests is do like a really complicated physics engine. I want to see if I can do that.
Yeah.
Now back to your calculus problem.
This is funny. Well, you might
look.
Oh my gosh.
You want it?
I love that he's there scratching his head. Well, I've got a problem with mine because just like everything else I've tried to run, it's not opening in my Chrome.
What's happening?
I don't know. I've never had this issue before with AI Studio.
It's just the demo gods. They don't smile. They don't smile on us.
So I'm gonna just stop sharing because I feel like I'm getting nowhere.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, we could test it over here. Let's look at the comments real quick. Dan Cohen says, guys, you've given me so many ideas for my business going forward. Thank you so much for your time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then good prompt engineering. Thanks, Abstract. Appreciate it. All right, so let's see. The Cat Cafe prompt. Let me pull that up. Oh, this is a fun one. I'm gonna just run about 5 or so prompts back to back, and then we'll see what they create. And I'll tell you what they are as I run them. So first off, I'm gonna make a retro game. And share this tab. So create a fully playable retro arcade game inspired by Pac-Man, featuring cats and yarn balls. With classic arcade aesthetics, simple controls, and increasing difficulty. Gonna go ahead and run that. Next up, we have Advent Calendar app. So this is a fun one. Okay. So I was thinking like my wife and I, we love Advent calendars, but how cool would it be if you could do a digital one? And it would be even cooler if you could do it for, not just the holidays, but for different any event. So like maybe like a different holiday, like Advent calendar for Thanksgiving, or Advent calendar for, maybe like your birthday or other stuff. And so this is actually quite a long prompt that's sticking me here, but I'm going to grab it and pull it in. But yeah, basically we're going to have Gemini create an Advent calendar app. And cool. I'm shocked that this doesn't exist. You're welcome if you are a creative person.
It probably does somewhere.
Probably does, but not like this. You've never seen an Advent calendar app like this. So we're going to go ahead and throw that in there. So we got that one cooking up now. So then the next one I'm going to run is a prompt for Doom with cats. So this was something I tested in Gemini 2.5 Pro. And it was like, it got really intense, really fast. So it did not work out the way I wanted it to. So this time we're going to try it again and see if Gemini 3.0 can make Doom with cats.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that is prompt number 3. And I'll show them as they're building out.
Okay.
So then I have 2 more for us. Let's see. We want to do...
Retro aesthetic is authentic and appealing. I like that.
Grounding, search, and structured output. This is a good one. So this is like a practical one. Obviously we've been testing fun ones because it's more fun for video. Yeah. But I think this would be a good thing to do. So this is going to test out Gemini's ability to use structured outputs and combine a lot of Gemini's more technical abilities. And
yeah.
You'll see what I mean by that in a minute here once I fire this up.
Man.
Is it Can you see it? I'm looking at a different tab, so I don't know if it's actually generated right now.
Yeah, it's showing.
Cool.
It's showing. Its shape's a little off, maybe, but it looks like a Pac-Man game. A lot like the one we played this week.
Yeah, love Pac-Man. Love retro arcade games.
Okay. Yeah, insert coin or start.
Insert coin.
Arrows to move, P to pause. We have blinking.
If it was really on top of it, it would say pause with a spelled it like the cat foot way.
We have Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Let's try it. Oh my gosh, it's really fast.
Oh, it's also really Pac-Man.
It's like deeply Pac-Man.
It would also help if you could see the bottom of your screen, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It made literal Pac-Man.
I mean, good to know. If you want to just play Pac-Man in your browser. Rude.
Oh, so rude.
The tunnels don't work. It's a death trap over there.
Oh.
All right, should we give it some feedback? Let's say like, okay. I love the sound effects. So the cat Pac-Man doesn't look like a cat.
It looks like Pac-Man.
It looks like Pac-Man. Please fix. Lol. Also, the tunnels on the side don't connect, so it turns into a death trap. Please fix. Also, can we add slide bars to adjust the speed of the entire game? Normally I would probably do these in like different requests, but
yeah. Also, make sure it fits in the window.
Yeah. Also, make sure the entire level fits in my window. Let me zoom in, maybe.
Out.
Zoom in and out.
Yeah.
To control my perspective.
Excellent.
All right, let's do that. So we're gonna fire that up. Let's look at some of these other ones. So this is my Advent calendar app that I just created. So I'll show everyone the prompt. So I started with the objective. I said, create an interactive Advent calendar app similar to Duolingo's engagement model, where users unlock daily content, cat-themed Christmas videos, complete holiday challenges, and maintain streaks. And then it's got the core features. I list out what I wanted it to include. Yeah. Now, this was all based on me rambling to the AI, and then I asked it to optimize it for Gemini 3. So
cool.
It came up with all of this stuff, like based on my very, very simple spec. But I'm glad that it structured it all here into core features, technical specification. So I asked it to include local storage to track these elements, unlock this logic, unlock logic so that days unlock on a time scale, video display, et cetera, and then output format. It says exactly how I wanted it to be outputted, and then gives some examples. Yeah, it was great. Like I couldn't have written this better if I wrote it myself.
And spent hours doing it.
Yeah, I certainly couldn't have coded it better. Okay, so the first ornament observation. My humans say it's the most wonderful time of year. I say it's the most sparkling, crinkly, climbable, and knock-overable time of year. Same thing, really. Hang a cat-safe ornament on your Christmas tree and watch your cat's curiosity unfold from a safe distance, of course. So it seems like there's a video that goes with this.
Sleek black cat with wide, curious eyes slowly extends a paw toward a shimmering, low-hanging bauble on a Christmas tree, giving it a gentle, exploratory tug.
Look at this simulated video. Imagine a cute cat here. Okay. No, Gemini.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Actually, hook up the video feature to VO, please. So
there you go.
The videos actually generate based on the prompts.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to be really like specific to it. Like, okay, no, make it actually work. Don't just make it up.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Okay, so I'll mark that complete. And then I could share the challenge. That's nice. Actually, that doesn't do anything yet. Fair enough. So then we'll close this. I wonder. Yeah, I should add. You know what should do is I should add a dev mode. Oh, cool! I can choose the different themes. I should add a dev mode so that I can come in and test all the different days. So that's what I would do. Is I would say like add a developer mode so I can test all the days and speed up time. Or I'll just say so I can speed up time to test all the days.
Or put a today's date calendar at the top too.
Or
that would. Or I'm just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good piece of advice that we covered a couple weeks ago, which is, when you're vibe coding these tools, give yourself controls so that you can edit and tweak the UI elements without having to have the AI do it. Because every time you go back and ask it to do things, it could potentially break other things, or it just wastes API credits or tokens. So giving yourself a lot of controls when you build out something is really a wise way to let you mess with things like, let's say I wanted to change the slider or the color of this header, or I wanted to, change certain UI elements. Giving yourself a little UI control panel is great. Maybe I'll say, in addition to that, give me a UI control panel to edit all the elements of the UI.
Smart.
Manually.
Let's see how it does.
So now next up, I'm going to share this tab. So this is Cat Doom.
Of course.
So we're going to try and play the game. So these are the controls. We got WASD. We can mouse to aim, click to shoot, 1, 2 to switch weapons. All right. Where am I? Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but that's a terrifying giant cat in front of you.
This is not okay.
Is it coming behind you?
I don't know. The shooting works. Yeah. But man, the consistent state of the world is just wild.
It is.
This is the problem I was having with it when I did this last time too. Okay, I'm trying to shoot this, but nothing happened.
I think you did. Whoa!
Oh my god!
Is it crying? It looks very sad. I'm also not sure your pink balls are killing anything.
Help me!
I can't help you. You're on your own.
Oh my gosh. No. What happens if it gets me? Is the thing. Oh gosh.
I think it got you. Oh my god, that's so haunting.
Did you catch
so
that?
Haunting. Just watching it come at you.
Okay.
No expression.
So the feedback I would give here is that nothing happens. I get no feedback from the cat character. Gosh, it's just staring at me. I get no feedback from the cat character at all. That when I shoot it, like, is it taking damage at all? It doesn't seem like it.
Are those 9 lives up there yours or the cat's?
I think they're definitely mine.
You get 9 lives.
But I think really nothing happens when the cat attacks me either. I don't think.
Okay.
Although, like, watch, it's like right on me.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty consequence-free, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Other than the nightmares it's surely going to cause for the decades to come.
Yeah, that is quite scary. Okay, so the cat face. Let me just. Oh, it was.
Yeah, your lives were going down.
Okay.
But there weren't like any visual cues that was occurring.
I'm not getting enough feedback from audio or visual cues that, number 1, the cat enemy is taking damage, and number 2, that I'm taking damage, and number 3, I don't think the cat was ever taking damage. So make sure the logic for the enemy health and contact with the ammo is working properly. By the way, another tool that I recommend that people take advantage of is this little tool here, so you can do speech to text.
Yeah.
So I could have said all of that out loud. Let me try another one.
I use that so much.
Also, the consistent state of the world is really confusing. The hallways are too narrow, and it looks like the walls sort of like bend in shape around me. So let's make the walls of the level much more consistent and hard coded, so that they don't totally disappear and get wonky.
I may have to click off of that and let it.
Yeah, so I just clicked. So that
there we go.
Cool. So now I'll go ahead and give it that feedback. Now, I just gave notes.
You have an error down there too.
Where's that? Oh,
in your corner.
3JS render context loss. Okay. Well, maybe whatever.
That may have to do with your wild world.
Yeah, for real. Okay, let's look at this next one now. Now, this one is the search the web for the top 10 coding tools launched in 2025, extract current information, pricing, funding, features, and output results as a structured JSON with a specific schema. So it's called the AI Code Scout 2025. We're going to go ahead and search the web. Now, this says here it's powered by Gemini 2.5.
Oh, well, that's not at all what you were after.
You know what? I use Gemini 3 Pro. Yeah. Maybe that's just a overhang. Okay, so let's try this again.
Let's see. See what happens. See if it works.
Yeah. Testing it out. So what this is doing, just so everyone's clear, is it's going through, it's doing web search and data gathering. It's doing data validation.
Cool.
It's doing structured output generation, so putting it in JSON. It is using a ranking algorithm to rank the best value for indie developers across price, features, ease of use, community support. And then it is outputting that into a schema like so.
And it looks like the JSON is probably for the information it's gathering.
Yeah. So this would be like, so you could then use this information, put it on a website, create a database with it, et cetera.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I told it to give me a research summary, the output, its explanation for its ranking, and data confidence assessment. So Google Gemini Code Assist. Okay. Yeah. Right on. Pricing, $45 per user per month. AI-powered code completions and generation. Chat interface. Okay. Cool. Windsurf by Codium.
And Windsurf now is actually cognizant. Is that right?
Cognition. Yeah. I feel like this data is old.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Like, okay, I'm going to tell it. The data here is old. Are we using web search up to date and searching as of November 21st, 2025?
How much does it say Claude Code costs?
Claude Code?
I think it said $17.
Where was that one? Did you catch?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
That's incredibly wrong. Yeah.
Like you can use it at the $20 tier, but you can use it at the $20 tier, but it's also $100 and $200. So this is just really not giving you accurate information. So good to know. It did put it in.
That's still a common problem with a lot of AI. To me, that's a thing. One of the things I would say that ChatGPT does better than the other tools is it does a really good job of searching to get the latest information, whether you ask for and request it or not. I get less of the, when is this from, where I need to go back and be like, okay, please search, And to be clear, this isn't Gemini 3 right now either, right? This one here is Gemini 2.5.
Well, that's what it says. If we go into the code, it's rewriting some stuff right now.
Gemini service. See what it's calling.
Yeah. It is using Gemini 2.5 Flash.
Okay. Oh, so, Flash too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will forgive the dated information.
Yeah. Looks like it's got an error that it's working on right now. Let's go back and see if we got our cat game working.
There we go. As we're bouncing back over to that one, just a quick note to remind everyone, if you haven't yet, please, if you enjoy this chat, please give us a quick like and a sub. Really means a lot and helps us continue to bring these to you as often as we can. And we're always trying to do it more often. And helps make sure we're able to get out and be at the events and get the information that we share with you here and through the newsletter as often as possible. And thanks.
Where is that cat?
That was awkward.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to find that freaking cat cafe prompt, and I can't find it. The one that we used last time. How about this? Why don't I go to
the 9 Lives edition? Cat Doom was pretty cool.
Cat Doom.
It had potential. It had potential.
Let's try it. Okay.
Okay.
Now it seems completely broken.
It does.
It's just so dark. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, we got Pat. Oh, okay. Okay.
There we go.
It died. Okay.
There we go. Cat Doom.
Bring it on.
What is this? Oh, this is just an item, I think. Cool.
Congrats on gaining a red square cube.
I still feel like the walls are a little janky.
They're definitely better than they were.
Yeah. This feels like a much more consistent world.
Yeah. Maze, I think, is the better word.
Yeah, that's fair. I would maybe give it some feedback on the lighting.
Oh, and maybe give it a map at the top of the screen.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did the original Doom have a map?
Oh, I don't think so. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It kind of aired
on
the side of hard.
It would be better.
Yeah.
For the user, but
it would. It would.
Oh!
It's going down.
I don't even know if that got one of my lives, actually.
I don't think so. It looks like you still have all 9.
Where did that come from?
Now, the cat definitely still just wanders through the walls and out of the walls.
Yeah. That I had that problem when I tried to make Cat Doom last time as well. I think Cat Doom's going to be my new benchmark for coding tools.
I think that's a fun new benchmark.
I don't know where the heck I'm supposed to go now. I
think you just go until you run into the cat.
Yeah.
And then you hit it 2 to 3 times with the ball thing.
Yeah, the Jordan ball weapon.
What is the tan pill there? Oh! Why is it green?
I've got a catnip blaster, which I only have 10. I have to use strategically.
Okay.
And then
maybe that's for being attacked by multiple nightmare cats.
It definitely makes a deeper resonant sound. That's for sure.
It does. It's absolutely built for polyphonic ringtones.
Maybe I'll tell it. I'll be like, "This is great. Now I need a bit more feedback on where to go and harder enemies that scale as I go deeper through the maze."
All right. And this will probably be our last pass for the day on it.
Yeah.
But it's not the last you'll see of Cat Doom. Don't worry.
Okay, so I'm going to ask real quick. I'm going to say, write me a prompt to make a cat website for a tech-forward cat cafe in Tokyo with a rich coffee theme and lots of pictures of cats. So I'm going to have Gemini 3 write me a prompt for that, and then we'll run that prompt, and that'll be the last one we do. We're at the hour mark, so we should go 5 minutes over to do that.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's important to benchmark it against what we did before.
Oh, that's right. We did that once before.
Yeah. Yeah, last week. Okay, here's the man. Remember this one?
Yeah. Can you see the full screen now?
Yeah, let's try it. Yeah.
Okay. It's a good start.
Does this look like a cat?
It doesn't look like Pac-Man anymore. I mean, like, I don't think it's going to win a copyright lawsuit, but but it definitely looks less like Pac-Man.
This is for educational purposes.
Absolutely educational purposes.
Oh no, infinite loop.
Oh no.
Refresh. Okay. So as you can see here, there's also the speed slider, so I can speed it. I can slide it way down.
Oh wow. And move really slow.
Although once you hit 7, they just freeze.
So really?
Cool. Yeah. I can zoom
in
and out.
It's ghost speed, not yours. Okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking the ghosts are like way faster than the original. They also, I like how they freeze in place and vibrate. That's cool.
That is.
Yeah. Okay. I had to get feedback like, hey, when you die, you need to reset to the original starting zone. It's funny with AI. It's like things that you take for granted that are like, yeah, obviously you would make it reset.
Oh, that's your cursor. I was like, what is that thing?
Oh, sorry. Also, yeah, the tunnels don't work still, so I'd have to fix that.
It needs a little more love.
It needs some more love, for sure. But it shows you what you can do.
But Per-Man that is absolutely not Pac-Man it does function.
So then here's the perfect holidays one. Let's see if I can go into developer mode. Supposedly it added a developer mode, but let's see. What does it say? Did you do it? I'm not getting enough feedback here. I don't know if you did it.
I see a settings cog.
Yeah, but up here, we can change the theme.
Okay. Data wipe.
But it doesn't really change. It doesn't seem to change anything.
Yeah, and start date. Okay.
Okay. This is good. All right, let's do this. Okay, great. So now I can see where we are.
Summoning holiday spirit.
Reveal magic video. Oh, okay. I've got to connect the VO to do it. Yeah. The ribbon rumble. Wrap presents with a watchful feline supervisor.
Exciting.
Okay.
As a guy who's wrapped presents with cats, they are not watchful. They are participatory.
Yeah. The mistletoe mischief. My human hands shine baubles that reflect light. I still feel like Gemini's, whatever, like wherever they're getting their images from, I still feel like they're not on brand. They're not on theme a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's possible.
For some reason. Yeah.
Just feel a little off with the
narrative. It doesn't go with the narrative. Because I think it's getting it from, didn't we look at this last time? It's getting it from Unsplash.
Getting them from like Unsplash or something. Yeah, it's not generating them.
Yeah. All right, let's check in on Cat Doom.
All right.
And then we'll end it with the Cat Cafe. All right. Oh, I didn't give it the feedback that like the lighting is too dark.
Oh yeah, we didn't. We were moving on over to the other one, I think.
Oh snap!
Oh, there's another one there too, in there, or no? Something to grab.
I don't know, but
maybe those are lives. Maybe if you were missing a life, we'd have seen that pop up.
Here, let's test it. Oh no, the cat got me. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. Now next one. Oh snap! Wait, let me test the catnip. I don't know how I feel. Oh yeah, I got a new life. I'm a new man with a new life.
Okay. So red cubes, you're picking up lives. We've got 2 weapons.
All right.
This is way too much fun.
Yeah. This is just like generate your own game.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are some people that'd be amazing for. Especially once they get better.
I won.
The evil cat has been defeated.
I feel like it didn't do what I asked it to do in terms of scaling the difficulty as we went, though. But
no, but that's okay, I think.
It's just a start, right?
Let's go check out our cat cafe.
Okay. These prompts, I don't love these prompts. Yeah, I'll just do this one. This first one's actually pretty good. All right, so I'll share this tab. So what I did is I said, write me a prompt to make a website for tech forward, yada yada. And then I said, and then this is what it created. It said, create a landing page, hero section. So let's go ahead and take this into build. So we're going to compare this. We're using Gemini 3 Pro.
There we go.
We can choose whether we want it to be a React page or not. And then let's build it. And this will be our benchmark against the websites that we created last week and see how well Gemini 3 Pro has improved on what we did last time. If we want to see...
And we still have the other one saved too, right?
Yeah. This was what we created last time. Probably one of the weaker websites.
Yeah.
Of the ones that we tested.
Yeah, it was. I remember that.
Yeah, like this, like an oil can background, like the image really didn't fit.
Meowcha.
I mean, it did what we wanted in terms of it has like a gallery, so like you can easily put your own photos here. So
yeah,
I will say that aspect of it is good. But then it didn't build out all these pages in one shot, right?
Yeah.
So
now we see what it does today, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
So use the same prompt.
It's not exactly the same. I was trying to get that prompt from the one I was just working on, and for whatever reason, I don't know exactly where the prompts are saved. In build, it's a little bit different than your chat history.
Yeah.
So instead, we're gonna roll with this. Generate images with Nano Banana.
Nice. How's it coming? Oh, it's making some.
Yeah,
headway.
It looks like it's got the hero page. It's got the cat squad component.
Cat squad.
Coffee section.
Priorities, right?
I mean, look, if you're gonna have a cat cafe, you gotta have a cat section.
Yeah, and you gotta have coffee. Ooh, excuse me.
All right. Let's pull it up.
Here we go.
Cyber Purr and Brew. Interesting. Tokyo's first smart cat cafe.
Experience the fusion of third wave caffeine and feline companionship in a high-tech sanctuary. Third wave caffeine? I don't know what that means. But this is definitely a better website than the other.
Oh.
I think without contest.
Meet the squad.
It would help if those were cats.
I know. Really, really missing the bar there.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? When we test Gemini again, let's do it in their new agentic browser that they just launched called Anti-Gravity. And let's see if we can make more progress with it there, because in case you guys didn't know, Anti-Gravity is like their version of like Claude Code or speaking of cognition, Devin, I think is more akin to what it is. Funny enough, Google, for whatever reason, has like 7 different coding tools that you can use that are a bit, it's a lot of different options. I think because they're just trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But it's an agentic coding tool, so you could test it out and have multiple agents spin up different aspects of this. So like if we're making cat doom, you could have like, okay, one agent's working on like the enemy manager, another's working on like the level system, another one's working on, like the, whatever other aspects you want to develop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This will be a good one to test next. In fact, if we're testing Codex versus Claude Code versus Anti-Gravity, I think that'd be a great episode to do.
Well, Grant, you have any final thoughts for today?
I just thanks again to Logan coming on the show, giving us his takes on what this launch means for the industry and what the coolest things you can do with it is. Obviously, what we tested here was just like scratching the surface of what it can do, and pushing it to the limits of what it can do in some cases. I'm excited to keep messing with this.
Yeah, same. And I'm excited to go do more of my normal type stuff and try that out in there and see things where I know what to expect from other models, is really helpful for me in figuring out which ones I love. But overall, looks like a great new tool, and I'm anxious to get into it, like in Gemini specifically. So far, I've only played with Google AI Studio. So
yeah, we'll definitely have to test both.
Yeah. Well, all everyone, thank you. We're so grateful that you've been here all day, or the last couple hours. It's been a ton of fun. Hopefully remember next Tuesday, we'll be here with
Micah Hill-Smith from Artificial Analysis. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that one. And we've got another really cool one we're cooking up right now that isn't quite ready to announce, but fingers crossed. And I think that's it. Please like, subscribe, read the newsletter. We're very grateful that you decided to spend your afternoon with us. And we'll see you back here next time. And stay tuned for a couple of really cool interviews dropping from Microsoft Ignite still. Looking like one's going to come Monday morning that will be a Neuron exclusive for the week.
Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate you joining us.
See you next time.
Take care.